Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 27th of August, 2022. Coming up in the Crusty Canuck podcast episode, more blunders. Yes, more federal government blunders, more social blunders, and blunders, and more bloody blunders. Please stick around. Oh, and listener and viewer discretion is advised. See you in a bit.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast, episode 184, Blunder and Blunders. Yes, sorry for the no fancy memes here to advertise this show. I've been away the best part of a month trying to sort some financial stuff out, work stuff, and some stuff upstairs here anyway. So I need some time off just to get my shit together per se anyway. So yes, blunders. Now, I don't have a lot of memes, a lot of articles and everything to back this episode up. I hope everyone's had a good summer. Hope everyone's having a decent time. I hope my friends out there, a few that I've talked to over the past few weeks, have found successful employment. If so, well done. If not, keep on trying. I'm in your corner. And I especially want to thank everybody who has subscribed recently. My subscriber list has gone up a few. So well done. Thank you very much for subscribing to my show. Please click like, subscribe, share this stuff all around your social media platforms. And I want to say a special thing to some people on the Fiverr program, Fiverr app there. Basically, Fiverr is a place where you can go to get assistance when it comes to promotion. Now, personally, I am getting sick and tired of certain individuals harassing me to say, oh, I'll give you this and I'll give you that, blah, 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 blah. Now, if anybody on the Fiverr application sees my work and they want to help me with promotion and all that too, firstly, I'll pay attention. Okay. There's been two situations where I've hired someone from Fiverr to give me a hand, give me some insight. Okay. And it only proved to be, how do you say, not as an advantage for me, because I ended up spending $60 on trying to get some promotion. And the promotion I got was, how do you say, lackluster. So to anybody, with the exception of a few people that I have hired, that I have talked to on a personal level, the rest of you clowns out there that want to take my work and exploit it and not help me get ahead, bugger off. Okay? Because recently I've had people come on my Twitter, on my Getter, and through my Facebook page to promise me all these wonderful things. Okay? I don't buy your crap. So there's a blunder right there. If you're going to sell a service and sell a product, then you bloody well sell the service and the product. You bunch of dishonest fucktards. Pardon my swearing, but I think you get my point. Okay? Don't take someone's money and say, promise good service, because I've read it all. You do nothing but promote bots, fake accounts, and you take people's money. And there's a lot of podcasters out there that I have talked to over these issues who have fell for the same garbage. So stop promoting garbage and you won't get attitude. Promote proper effort. Promote a service. Do the service. Get it? Because you're walking a fine line between being an actual business person or a politician. And we all know how I feel about some politicians, don't we? Eh? Speaks for itself. Now, that being said, just had a moment there. So as the title says, 184, blunder after blunder. So in recent news, it's been brought to my attention by a fellow veteran and a fellow podcaster by the name of Mark Meineke. If I'm mispronouncing it there, Mark, please correct me. Come across a story where a veteran called up Veterans Affairs for assistance. Now, I'll have links in the descriptions for you all to follow at your own leisure. Okay. But what I heard and what I read was really effing disturbing. An individual calls Veterans Affairs, asks for assistance, and the person on the other side of the telephone, an actual case manager, recommended this person consider suicide. Okay, you heard it from me, ladies and gentlemen. Recommended this person committed suicide. Now, I've dealt with Veterans Affairs numerous times. A lot of my fellow veterans out there have done it, and we're all getting sick and tired of the bureaucracy. Sign this paper, sign that paper, sign this form, sign that form, mail this in, wait for permission here, slap and tickle here, promise of a kiss and reach around, and still the same old effing garbage. Run around after run around. And now, after I read this story and I heard this, especially from Mark himself when he was on Rebel News, okay, and other videos he put out there, it's a goddamn slap in the face again. Okay? Now, regardless of how you personally feel about warfare and combat and conflicts, there are people I know that are still serving today that have put their asses on the line and still put their asses on the line. And there are people in my life that are firefighters, police officers, and even some frontline responders that are more than willing to go above and beyond to pull someone out of a fire, out of a car wreck, out of damaged property, that will take a bullet, that will die for this nation or die for their community or die for their family, to keep people alive, to keep people safe. Now, when I heard about this individual that works for Veterans Affairs recommending that someone do that to themselves because of depression and anxiety, then you might as well say that to everybody else that has gone through depression, especially the past 3 effing years with the beer bug and with the jibby jabs and with the administrations and with the fines and with the charging and with the ridicule. Okay. What kind of professional advice is that to give somebody? Okay. What kind of professional recommends that for someone who is going through a rough time? Now, I can understand if you are terminally ill, if you have a cancer or a disease that confines you to a wheelchair, that puts you in a vegetative state or puts you in a coma, or you as the individual do not want to live your life in agony or pain. And I'm talking physical and emotional. Okay? Leave it up to the individual. But don't recommend that to someone who's reaching out and saying, hello, I need a hand. Like, that's just well beyond insulting. To me, that's just fucking lazy. And personally, I think you, sir, or madam, whoever you may identify, got to be fired.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if you like and hear what you see, please click like and subscribe and share this all over your social media platform. You can find my podcast hosted by Podbean. You'll see at the bottom of the screen there. You can find my shows uploaded on Amazon, Player FM, and I put it on the Tube, and I put it on Facebook. And I'm trying to branch out to get my episodes out there more, and especially on Rumble. And I want to say a special thank you out there to my new Rumble subscribers, too. I'm up a few more. So give yourselves a good round of applause there. Well done. Well done, Rumblers. Thank you very much for subscribing to my show there in Rumble. Please pass the word around and everything, too. I'm also, once again, on Telegram. I'm trying to keep busy putting the show on there as well for you, my wonderful listeners and audience out there, too. And if you like and hear what you see, again, I'll put this little advert up here. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, Instagram, YouTube, Getter, and Podbean. Like I say, more is coming there, too, but that's just a start. For some reason, Instagram is not letting me load my videos. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm not pretty enough. I'm not shaking off my shirt and putting on my bikini to validate myself again. I don't know. What is it? I don't know. You tell me. Anyhow, you can find me on Instagram too if you'd like. Okay, if you'd like to find me anywhere, just reach out and say hello. And I'm trying to get a new email address up and running too. But all my contact information is in my description. So please reach out. Don't be shy. Send me a comment, send me an email, whatever you want to say to me. I'm an open book. I try to be as open as possible too. If you want to write me a letter or send me some swagger, I've got my mailing address there too in the description. So anyway, carrying on with more of the blunders. Like I said, this episode, I've been away for about a month, so I don't have all my facts and figures, but there'll be stuff in the descriptions for you to follow in regards to the veteran issue I just talked about. And in regards to Mr. Trudeau talking with the German chancellor in regards to fricking hydrogen technology. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm all for clean air. I am all for rivers, trees, campgrounds. I'm all for the environment being safe and sound and balanced for everybody to enjoy. Okay. I'm not ever going to say that humans are such a burden on this planet. I'm not going to say animals are such a burden on this planet, but I will quote George Carlin before he passed away. Planet's fine. Planet's fine. It's the people that are fucked. Okay. Self-explanatory. Now, we are sitting on some natural gas in this country, this province and Saskatchewan alike. Okay. I think the third largest reserve on the planet, if I'm not mistaken. Now, in order for us to get out of debt, in order for us to pay this ridiculous debt that was brought to you by the Liberal government, and I will say Liberal government, and I don't really care how many libtards out there who love Justin Theres and his thoughts are going to intervene and say, you don't know what you're talking about. When I do. Okay. Because I have to work 50 plus hours a week to make ends meet. My wife has to work 40 hours a week to make ends meet. So between the two of us, we're working 90 hours a effing week to keep things afloat. So I know what I'm talking about. Wankers. Okay. Now, Justin talked to the German chancellor, basically saying, we're going to help you with hydrogen technology because, winter's coming to Europe, just like it's coming to North America. And Germans might freeze because of the deals they've made with Russia over the years. Now they've sanctioned Russia. Now there's no gas. Now there's no fuel. Now there's blah, blah, blah. It's self-explanatory. Now we're sitting on a big reserve of natural gas in this country that we could very well put to market, that we could very well sell to Europe at a decent price and make lots of money here to cut down the national debt, to bring things to life again, to put more production, to put more people to work in the oil patch, put more people to work in the logistics patches too, to send said fuel to said countries. But no, we've got Prime Minister and we've got his cronies backing him up on the bills like C-69, I believe, which was about gender parity and the impact of oil work on females. When there's a lot of females I know personally that kick ass in the oil patch, by the way. So that myth has been debunked, right? And other things about anti-tankers. I think C-48 was the big bill. We can't have tankers in our waterways because there's a few killer whales that just might not like it. Well, those killer whales, they have good common sense. I've never talked to one personally. But when they hear thrusting in the water, they go elsewhere. Okay, that's just a thing mammals do and aquatic life does. They hear something in the water, a vibration they don't like, they take off. So basically, it's just an excuse not to get our product to market. That's what it is. So this hydrogen project. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know about any other guys that I've talked to in the patch have seen any kind of schematic or any kind of plan through a little bird's mouth or a little bird's eye view in regards to something being built. Have you, my audience? Have you heard anything about a hydrogen project being built? I'll wait. Exactly. Note the sarcasm here too, right? Here's a guy, Chancellor of Germany, comes over and says, Candy, can you give us a hand with something? Oh, we'll work together on hydrogen projects. We'll start working on that in 2025, 3 years from now. What do you think is going to happen in Europe in 3 years? What's going to happen in Germany this winter? What's going to happen to every country neighboring Russia this winter? Every country that's relied on Russia for fossil fuels. What's going to happen this winter? You have to cut more trees, get more coal, which has a terrible environmental impact, so we're told, right? You have to burn things. No. See, as far as I'm concerned, the efforts that the Canadian government made to help Germany was basically just handing him a hat and a coat saying, good luck. How do you like my socks? How do you like my hair? That's the only thing I really got out of that story, But you decide, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, if you like to hear what you see, please click like and subscribe and share this all around. You can find my podcast in Podbean, Rumble, Brightian, Amazon Player FM. You can also find me on Getter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So please check me out there if you can too, or even here in the tube, by all means. Download, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, click like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I know I sound desperate, but I want to get my subscribers up there too. And I like to make this podcast at one point a full-time commitment, because I have a lot of fun doing this, putting these episodes together. And I put a lot of work into it too, believe it or not, when it comes to acquiring this equipment, my soundboard here, and just, doing my thing. because I highly encourage you, my audience out there, to do your thing too, to the best of your ability. Just don't hit people and take their stuff. Anyway, carrying on again with more blunders and blunders and blunders. We've got tons of them. So I already mentioned the prime minister and his bullshit with the German chancellor, promising to help Germany. Now we've got something going with NATO in the north too. Now, Canada has been warned since the 1970s to upgrade our military. Now, personally, I think 2.5% of the GDP should go into military spending. Now, based on my libertarian points of view, I believe anyone who wants to serve a country's army can do it by volunteering. I don't believe in conscription. I don't believe in drafting. Okay, I don't believe in that crap. That's just me, though. But if we're going to have a military in this country, we should do our best to look after it. Just like every city does their best to look after their fire services or police services or their sewage services or their welfare services. Why is it so hard for the federal government to clue in and say, okay, we got to buy this now, get this done, and get that done in a period of maybe, let's say, a minimum of 2 years? Next to impossible, because you have bureaucratic red tape everywhere. You have all these boards that have to put the check in the box to verify this. You have people that sit in these boards that have music degrees and have no idea about tactics or logistics, but because they have a special degree in music or some other gender bending dichotomy, they make decisions on what you and I should use to protect ourselves, or what's going to be used for you and I to be protected in case there's a foreign enemy that lurks around the corner. Now, what you may believe about Russia and China, I would believe the majority of people in Russia don't want to fuck with anybody. I believe the majority of people in China don't want to fuck with anybody. It's just the policies and their parties that call the shots. Kind of the same thing here with our liberal overlords that don't want to really hurt anybody, but we'll tell you what to think, what to stick in your mouth and put in your nose, because we really care. Honestly, we really, really care about your feelings. And I'll just like to remind my audience too, a little advert I made last year. This explains the Liberal Party to a F&T.
Join the Liberal Party of Canada. We'll tell you what to think, what to do, how to wipe, how to pick your nose, all in the name of safety.
And of course, the NDP is not too far off either.
Join today's NDP. We'll keep moving the goalposts. You don't walk the line for us, we'll call you racist, misogynistic, xenophobic, homophobic. We look for racism in everything. Please, join the NDP today. And subscribe and donate. Please, walk our line. Thank you.
Which brings me to another blunder, too. There was an NDP MLA out of BC who made the comment about we should get rid of indoor ice rinks because of the carbon footprint. Now, I'm not going to mention her name, and I might give her the Polar Vortex of Bullshit Award. I might not. Needless to say, you have an elected official, okay? And I don't care if it's BC, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Inuit, Northwest Territories. I don't care where you're from. Any elected official who has the audacity to suggest that we put a stop to indoor ice rinks to save the climate is an effing moron. Okay? I actually, I'm just, woo. Wow, some people's kids, eh? I actually tried to read her statement without laughing hysterically. So I posted it on my Facebook page, and there's some clown who tried to engage me in a debate with it. Now, I encourage all debates. I do encourage it. But you got to back up your points with certain facts. Now, he tried to tell me that all these ice scrapings, or correction, he said scrappings. Scrapping is where you're, duking it out with somebody, not scraping, right? But he said scrappings. He used to say, he tried to convince me that all those chemicals that are in that ice every year goes outside and it sits in the parking lot and kids end up playing in it and they end up getting sick. And this guy actually believed what he was saying. So I'm like, okay, wait for it. Okay. It's ice. Ice. I'll say it again. It's ice. You might have some remnants of the paint from the lines in there, or whatever advertising logos you see usually in center of ice of every major arena or every small town arena. Nonetheless, it's still ice. So what kind of chemicals in there are going to make their kids, go blind or their arms go smaller or get, little pine cones growing out of their skull? Honestly. Like, that's the logic. It goes to show that how many people will believe this climate hype and get all paranoid. Oh, she's right. Yes, of course. There's too many damn chemicals in that ice. We got to put a stop to it right now. How about we put a stop to the stupidity and the buffoonery and stop electing morons to call the shots?
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
Honestly, like, how many more morons have to call the shots, especially elected officials? Not like, say, I don't care where you're from. I don't care if you're from BC, Ontario, Alberta. Like, just really start thinking before you start speaking, okay? Which brings me to another blunder, too. There's a podcaster out there, fellow soldier. We've had a couple of exchanges. Good guy, His name's Jeremy McKenzie. And he more or less created a meme as a joke, like a joke. He's got a great sense of humor. And when you sit with a bunch of soldiers and some of the stuff we have talked about over the years, kind of, a dark sense of humor, But it's not meant to hurt anybody or kill anybody or destroy anybody's lifehood. It's just humor. Now, he come up with a meme called Diagolon. It's a fictional country, right? Now, there's some stories out there that they're calling him a far-right white supremacist or a far-right extremist. And that's brought to the people at Global News, I think. And I think CBC had their hands in it, too, because they jump on the gun every time someone has a different opinion and all of a sudden point fingers at you and call you a white supremacist and a misogynist. And, oh, my God, you're a derelict. How dare you? So much for their die model, right? They talk about diversity, yet they don't diversify. They talk about inclusion. They're as inclusive as a fart, all big and stinky, and they disappear. And they believe in equality as much as they believe in donuts. All for them. But no equality for me, but lots of equality for you. But see, their version of equality means equity. So if I make a pie, they're entitled to it. That's their idea of equality. Okay? I think a long story short, they gave this guy a real hard time. And he's just laughing. And I don't blame him. So, Jeremy, if you're listening to this, you fucking keep fighting the good fight, buddy, and you keep doing your thing. And to all of his fans and supporters out there, same thing, ladies and gentlemen. You keep fighting the good fight and keep doing your bloody thing. Okay? There's no such country as Diagolon. It's funny as hell. It's a great concept, and it just all around good sense of humor. And I will back Jeremy McKenzie up until my last breath. Because what I ever understand with him and the interaction that him and I have had a couple times, I know he's a stand-up guy. He's not a bigot. He's not a racist. No. I've worked with lads from his battalion. And there's quite the diverse mix of individuals in his old battalion. So you can't use the racist angle. And you can't use the white supremacist angle. And that's being overdone too, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So here you have all these educated officials in mainstream media, legacy media alike, who are constantly saying, oh, this guy's a white supremacist. He's an extremist because we disagree with you. It's nothing to do with the color of my skin. It's what's in my head and in my heart. See these flags behind me? Okay? They represent a lot of our history. And regardless how you personally feel about Canada and its history, not all of it's bad. Okay? A good point of our history is a guy named Frederick Banting. Look him up. Roberta Bondar. Look her up. Arlene Dickinson. Look her up. Nellie McClung. Look her up. British North America Act. Look it up. The Métis. Look him up. Louis Riel. Look him up. A lot of great history. A lot of great people who contributed to this country. Right? A lot of great people. Regardless of how you feel about this statue or that statue. Regardless of how you feel about this institution or that institution. Okay? Need I remind my audience, too, that with the incidents that happened last summer with the so-called mass graves, have they done any digging yet? Has anything been excavated? Right? Something to think about. And I'm a firm believer in truth and reconciliation, ladies and gentlemen. But let's find the truth. Okay? Let's find the truth. I'm a firm believer in honor and integrity. I'm a firm believer in capitalism. I'm a firm believer in free enterprise. I'm a firm believer in oil and gas. So fuck you, Jane Fonda and Mark Ruffalo. I'm a firm believer in prosperity for all. I believe in Canada, our home and native land. So when I hear these politicians speak, when I hear these chancellors speak, when I hear these so-called know-it-alls and environmental strategists speak, they don't know a goddamn thing. They're not out there with the people. They're not out there working, digging the holes, building the homes. They're not out there feeding the cattle. They're not out there slaughtering the animals. They're not out there trying to make their life easier. They're making it easier based on you, ladies and gentlemen. Right? So the blunders are simple. We're seeing it every day. But the trick is not to let it get to us as it should, as they want to. Okay? Speak out against it. Call it out. Call it for what it is. Bullshit. Okay? It is bullshit. Right? I actually got a little comment from somebody saying, why are you wearing that hat, Crusty Canuck? You never fought for the Union Army. I don't have to fight for the Union Army to wear a hat like this. It's a pretty cool hat. It's historical, I think it's all right. But what I wear is none of your damn business, and what you wear is none of my damn business. Simple things like that. What you put in your mouth and your butt, none of my concern. Right? But am I going to hire somebody and include people in my life who do that for the sake of them doing it? I don't care. I know lots of people that have their preferences here, and lots of other people have their preferences there that enjoy this, enjoy that. But I trust them and I like them and hang out with them because they have the smarts and they have the heart and they treat people with respect and dignity. Right? They don't believe things like words are violence. They don't believe in all this misogyny going around. They don't believe that there's hidden racism under every little rock and corner. They believe things are changing. They believe context is being used horrifically. They believe language is being used horrifically just to further a stinking narrative. And you, my audience out there, you've seen all these narratives. You see it all. We can do better, and we must keep doing better. So all the people out there like Jeremy McKenzie, like myself, Crusty Canuck, like Daniel Boardman, True North, Rebel News, right? Like Dan Dix, like all these other independent individuals coming out and speaking out against this bullshit. Let's keep doing it. And let's make these blunders turn into real progress, ladies and gentlemen. Real progress. Then we might see the light. I'm going to say, do what you can to help each other at these trying times. It's been difficult. And just remember, too, this is also brought to you by free speech. More important than your feelings, ladies and gentlemen. It was good to take that time off to get my head cleared in certain things, to keep focused on what has to be done, bills paid, keep the lights on, keep my marriage strong and all that. We got ourselves a new pet last couple of weeks ago. So we called her little Sally. She's a bit of a Dutch Shepherd mix. So kind of a nice dog, inquisitive little dog, kind of cool. She greets me every day when I get home from work. So nice little peppy, got a little kick, a lot of joy in her. So we'll see how it goes. And I'll keep you all posted in regards to upcoming episodes. Check out my page on Facebook and on YouTube for updates too, for that matter. Please check out my shop at customizedgrill.com. Link will be in the description. I got t-shirts, hats, swimsuits, mugs, paraphernalia, Crusty Canuck paraphernalia, all to your leisure too. Summer is still here, so you ladies out there who want to bring out your inner Baywatch, please grab yourself a Crusty Canuck swimsuit or whatever item that you fancy there on the Crusty Canuck Customized Grill, Customized Store page. Link will be in the description for you all to follow too. And I'll try to get another episode up this Tuesday. Hopefully, we'll see what's going on. I got a lot of work to do too. As I mentioned, one of my episodes too, I am working on a screenplay. I'm not really going to dwell too much on what it's about, but the creative juices are flowing. And I've made some good contacts, and I've got some good people working with me on this. So time will tell. So maybe we might have a website up and running sometime soon. I don't know. But in the meantime, I'm being counterproductive. I'm being very productive, not counterproductive. I'm being very productive, in regards to getting the creative outlet out there. And I'm going to still make more episodes for you, my wonderful audience out there. And I just want to remind you all, too, to give yourselves a good round of applause. You've been awesome. I've had a few emails the past couple of weeks that are really fantastic. I want to thank those individuals, and keep liking, subscribing, and showing all this around your social media platforms. Well, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast, episode 184. So 184 episodes. And pardon me for not having enough memes or video to back these up. This is based just a rant and rave on what I've seen in the name of politics and the name of social injustices happening here in Canada. And I'm sure my American friends too are getting a little disturbed. And before I go, I will make a mention that student loans are something that you have to take responsibility for. And I had a little tidbit there with a few individuals talking to me about what hasn't happened in Canada yet, but it will probably, right? The way I look at taking a loan is you take a loan, you pay it back. That's simple. Okay. And I don't care what you study in school. I don't care what you studied here, you studied there. Okay. It's all about you being an adult, making better decisions, making proper decisions for yourself and your future, what you think is right for you. But if you're going to borrow 40 grand to study courses at this school or that school, and those courses do not really promise you any kind of proper career direction, then why'd you go? Okay. You do the time, you do the crime. You do the crime, you do the time. You know how it works. You borrow money, you bloody well give it back. Right? Because it's not the banks that are going to be on hold for these loans. It's not going to be Joe Blow down the road, cash loan certified. It's going to be the taxpayer. And my American friends out there too, I know you're up in arms about that. So to those kids out there whining about having to pay back these loans, maybe you should have made some better decisions. And maybe your mentorship should have stepped in and helped you make some better decisions. Right? And if it comes up here to Canada where people are going to whine about, oh, my student loan, I got to pay this off, and I got a liberal arts degree. Well, maybe you shouldn't have taken liberal arts. Maybe you should have gotten industrial arts, learn how to work a machine, how to work a hammer, drill, nails, how to draw something, how to build something. And then maybe you could benefit yourself and benefit society with that too. But what do I know? Anyway, enough of my ranting today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again to my fans out there and the people who have sent me some wonderful comments over the past month. Thank you very much. It's because of you this show keeps going on, and only you can make this even better. So please consider donating too. You'll follow links in the description for that as well. But like I say, ladies and gentlemen, let's do what we can to help each other in these trying times. It's only going to get better, but we got to make it better, you and me. So do what you can to help a neighbor out. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Maybe help your neighbor with groceries. Maybe cut some grass for some elderly people out there, and just do what you can to be good. Like I say, humanity merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you Tuesday. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Mama always said I had a face for radio.